There is no resolution in sight for the Walt Disney Company when it comes to Snow White 2025 at the box office. This is exactly why Bob Iger, the Disney CEO, is in pure panic mode over not just the Rachel Zegler backlash, but the entire backlash surrounding this movie in general.
That the producers, far left-wing activists in Hollywood, are turning on her, and Disney has canceled all of Rachel Zegler's appearances on their media platforms. Kind of tough.
After months of heated debates, industry drama, and an overwhelming wave of fan outrage, Disney has finally broken its silence, confirming that Snow White is getting yet another reboot. This shocking announcement follows the disastrous reception of the controversial adaptation starring Rachel Zegler, a project that many now see as one of Disney's biggest blunders in recent memory. During an exclusive media event, Disney executives didn't shy away from addressing the backlash, positioning this new remake as a bold attempt to right past mistakes.
Just how once trusted critics that shilled for the Disney Company all the time, even they are beginning to turn their back against them. That's how bad this movie truly is. Even if you look at the IMDb rating score, that's when you really know how terrible this movie is and how it really hit rock bottom.
Additionally, a fresh homage to traditional storytelling conveys the studio's goal of restoring audience trust and mending its tense connection with its multi-generational fan base. Initially marketed as a contemporary feminist reworking of the original 1937 picture, the Rachel Zegler-led production attracted notice early on for its daring deviations from the original.
There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
Yeah.
Weird.
Super weird.
So we didn't do that this time.
Yeah. Fans disagreed with the studio's assessment that it was forging a forward-thinking course. Critiques erupted on social media following Zegler's remarks, which many saw as disparaging the legacy of the original. Claims that the prince role was unimportant and that the romance was awkward went viral, sparking heated discussions and ultimately animosity.
After one hell of a PR tour, Disney's live-action Snow White is finally, I know, you were wondering.
Disney internal sources said executives were taken aback by the harsh response. Responses to early test screenings were ambivalent, but it wasn't until the trailer for the movie was released that the entire impact became apparent. Film critics, fan clubs, and nostalgic moviegoers soon banded together to express their displeasure with the significant modifications.
That despite my flaws, and despite my cracks and my breaks, and there are many of them,
she's a good actress,
that at every premiere and everything I do, people will wait in line to see.
Wow. The ego on this girl is ridiculous. Wow.
The outrage wasn't just loud, it refused to die down. For weeks, social media was flooded with relentless backlash, as hashtags slamming the creative decisions trended non-stop. Reports even suggested that Disney's PR teams were scrambling behind the scenes, working overtime to put out the fires. Now, in what seems like a desperate move to regain public trust, the studio has revealed plans for a brand new Snow White project, slated to begin production in late 2025.
You have parents looking at Disney being like, what are you doing, guys? This is supposed to be a place where magic happens, and all you're doing is indoctrinating kids, and you're having this person be the poster child of the Democratic Party.
Disney stressed that this remake would revert to the emotional pulse and visual language of the original animated hit, even though no formal cast has been revealed. This entails bringing back cherished characters, musical numbers, and the fairy tale ambiance that reviewers claim the previous version completely lacked. Disney's high stakes and sense of urgency are reflected in the choice to release a new adaptation so soon after the previous one.
Look no further than what Disney is doing with their woke, DEI, feminist agenda.
There has been increasing pressure on the studio to defend its recent flurry of live-action remakes, many of which have seen dwindling critical and commercial success. Since the Snow White brand is in danger of being irreparably damaged, officials think a well-executed relaunch may restore the title and win back the affection of viewers. It's interesting to note that some sources claim that the new movie will have a more conventional narrative arc, largely adhering to the 1937 scenario, while allowing for minor revisions.
Tell me if this is attractive to you. Like, does this, imagine you invested into her being the face of the movie, and she's the main character, and she's trying to promote the movie. Would this make you want to go watch the movie when she's starring in it and she's the main character?
These changes, they claim, won't alter the core of the original, but instead honor it with a fresh perspective. As one producer described it, the idea isn't to mend what's already beloved, It's to breathe new life into traditional concepts, making them resonate with today's viewers while keeping their timeless magic. This approach is a dramatic contrast to the earlier attempt, which many felt veered too far from what made the original exceptional, deconstructing its core rather than enhancing it. Meanwhile, speculation regarding the cast is running wild, but Disney remains tight-lipped, refusing to confirm or reject any of the swirling speculations.
Destroyed hundreds of millions of dollars worth of IP for Disney, but she also has destroyed her career and the careers of anybody who worked on the movie.
Unnamed insiders close to the project claim that the studio is seeking a lead actress that exemplifies old Hollywood elegance with an emphasis on charm, relatability, and singing quality. Unlike the past picture, where off-screen comments were the center of attention, this movie will reportedly incorporate tighter media training rules to guarantee messaging remains in tune with the film's themes.
The producers, far left-wing activists in Hollywood, are turning on her, and Disney has canceled all of Rachel Zegler's appearances on their media platforms. Kind of tough.
A little difficult. Following difficult lessons learned, the studio has refocused on delivering stories in a unified manner. Internal conflicts between Disney's marketing, creative, and public relations divisions during the release of the Zegler movie were exposed by leaked documents from earlier in the year. These misalignments resulted in a marketing effort that frequently seemed contradictory and conflicting messaging.
We'll still offend the dwarves, but we'll CGI dwarves. So we'll guarantee no employment for little people while getting rid of this other component that warranted CGI. It was the worst decision they could possibly make.
To avoid a recurrence of similar problems, the new Snow White reboot is being produced under more stringent supervision. The reputation of the movie isn't the only thing at risk. Items associated with the last Snow White release did not do well. Only a few weeks after their introduction, major stores cut the cost of toys and clothing.
You could look at the fact that she has been sabotaging this film for years at this point, all in this sort of pursuit of entitlement.
Additionally, Disney's consumer product sector has millions of unsold inventory, according to reports from within the company. Analysts say the corporation cannot afford another commercial setback associated with one of its core properties, and the financial impact was significant. Disney has appointed a fresh group of creatives to lead the relaunch in response to these worries.
Every way that Disney changed the story, it changed it for the worse.
According to early assessments, the screenwriter is well known for striking a balance between tenderness and powerful character development. The director, whose name is expected to be disclosed in the coming weeks, has worked on animated and live-action films with international appeal. The business expects that this coupling will add depth, heart, and broad appeal to the new edition.
It's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White that is
saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about
she's gonna die.
true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be.
While the primary storyline will stay true to the beloved original, expect some unique twists that breathe new life into this timeless tale. Insiders explain that the legendary forest creatures, cherished by generations of fans, will make a breathtaking comeback, brought to life through a seamless blend of cutting-edge CGI and practical effects, making them more lifelike than ever. As for the dwarves, the filmmakers are treading cautiously to ensure they remain an integral and meaningful part of the story, sidestepping past conflicts and reinventing them in a way that honors their legacy. And of course, music will once again take center stage. A blend of beautiful new compositions will be delicately weaved into the picture, perfectly complementing the return of timeless favorites like Someday My Prince Will Come in Hi-Ho, ensuring that nostalgia and fresh magic go hand in hand.
And to everyone who hates when I win, the winged victory came to the Louvre in pieces, and people still line up to see her. And I can only hope that despite my flaws, and despite my cracks and my breaks, and there are many of them,
Disney's choice to enlist experts and legacy animators who have experience with earlier princess movies is arguably the most significant change. These people are being brought in to provide advice on tone, pacing, and emotional coherence. Many of them contributed to the visual and narrative identities of the films from the Renaissance. Rebuilding goodwill apparently requires Disney's executives to get back in touch with the company's creative origins. The initial press announcement for the project had a remarkably modest tone, admitting prior mistakes without specifying specifics.
Disney responded by scaling back the premiere. I don't know that anyone really showed up to the premiere. The Rotten Tomatoes reviews are looking pretty bad, and they did, it seems like they tried to tweak a few things, but this movie is bad.
Disney knows it's walking a tightrope. In a carefully worded statement, the studio stressed its respect for the stories that formed its legacy, signaling a profound understanding of the scrutiny around its latest Snow White adaptation. This new rendition isn't just about upgrading a classic, it's about honoring the past while making it relevant for today's audience. But make no mistake, Disney recognizes the stakes. Rachel Zegler, who formerly stood in the vanguard of this endeavor, has gone significantly silent since the scandal erupted. The actress, previously acclaimed for her breakout role in West Side Story, found herself at the heart of an internet maelstrom after her words about the adaptation prompted backlash. What was meant to be a message of empowerment was instead viewed as dismissive, even condescending to fans of the original. Despite her later attempts to clarify, the harm was done. And now, she's absent from the new direction totally. While Disney hasn't made an official comment about her departure, insiders believe it's a calculated decision to start fresh, on screen and off. Whether Zegler will break her silence remains uncertain, but for now, she seems to be avoiding a way of the conversation altogether, and that's precisely how Disney wants it. Instead of focusing on people, the company is moving attention back to the plot itself, a decision that has inspired cautious optimism among fans. Across internet forums, the announcement has sparked questions about legacy, repentance, and the enchantment that made Snow White a beloved classic in the first place. Some remain skeptical. Others, however, are prepared to give Disney another shot. "I just want the magic back," one fan remarked. "Give me the songs, the romance, the enchanted forest. If they do it right this time, I'll be there opening night." And that's exactly what Disney is betting on: restoring faith and, of course, filling theater seats. The film is expected to commence pre-production by late 2025, with a theatrical release set for spring 2027. But Disney isn't waiting until then to stoke anticipation. Marketing efforts will roll out early, with teaser posters, music previews, and behind-the-scenes videos aimed to evoke the wonder of the original. Beyond the film itself, Disney is even considering methods to bring Snow White back to its theme parks, with conversations underway to integrate elements of the classic into select attractions. But can this technique succeed where the prior attempt faltered? That remains to be seen. One thing is certain: Disney is not letting Snow White slip into the shadows of controversy. This isn't simply another remake. It's a mission to restore the studio's place as the master of fairy tales. If they get it right, this picture might serve as a compelling reminder of why Snow White was the narrative that started it all. Behind the scenes, executives are laser-focused on every detail: costuming, casting, lighting, and musical composition, all rigorously assessed to ensure the picture stays faithful to Disney's artistic tradition while appealing to modern audiences. Because no amount of corporate polish can compensate for true storytelling charm. And for this Snow White to thrive, it has to feel like coming home. Even the harshest critics agree. If there's one film that can rescue Disney's failing reputation, it's this one. The stakes are sky high, not just in terms of box office revenues, but for the very integrity of the company itself. Reimagining Snow White isn't simply a creative decision, it's a test of Disney's ability to develop, to listen, and to prove that the enchantment isn't gone. The real question isn't whether Disney can develop another Snow White, it's whether they can make us believe in the fairest one of all once again.